What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a quick balance patch video that was unexpected to hit next week. Last season, the devs let us know that if they deem necessary that they can allow buffs and nerfs to come to some heroes quickly within a season. And well, guys, they be demon. Today, we're going to take a quick dive into Dev Talk 13, which gives us a look at several buffs and nerfs coming to the game, but also explaining why you might be climbing ranks not quick enough or too quickly, depending on who you play. There's a lot to dive into. Let's get to it. Now, we're going to go to kick things off here with competitive performance points. Now, if you don't know, in Season 2, they've made it where, depending on how well you do as a player with a given hero in a certain match, or I guess how much you suck with a hero, is going to determine how much points you get at the end of that ranked match. You see that as you rank up or rank down. That's going to be how this is determined. Now, this has kind of sparked up some debate online, surprisingly, way more than I would have ever thought. Even so, there's a strategist strike, if you believe it or not, which if you think that there are less supports in your game than usual, probably, I don't know, there's already a lack of them, but there's even more so now. But they've allowed us to peek behind the curtain on how this all works, and essentially, you've got a hero baseline. Let's take Iron Fist, for example, and if you exceed that baseline at your given rank, well, you're going to gain more SR than usual. But if you do worse than the baseline, then you're going to gain less. However, the problem that a lot of people have kind of seen is it doesn't seem like it's fair for every hero. Some heroes seem like the baseline is a bit more strict, mainly strategist players. And for duelist and some Vanguard, it's a bit easier to go over that threshold. So they've allowed us to take a peek behind the curtain, and they kind of explain some of it. All of the adjustments are based on how much you use them within that match. If you use like 3 or 4 heroes, if you're playing mystery heroes, man, you just can't get it right. You keep dying, so you're switching from all the duelists. Then it takes that into account as well. But because of the internet and because of the player, noticing a lot of this, they took some observations away from this new system. And that's what's led us here today, if you don't know. I've seen a lot of this float around the last couple of days. I wasn't going to make a video on it, but now that it's here and they're addressing it, we might as well before we talk about the buffs and the nerfs. So essentially, they've noticed a small number, as they put it, of duelists have a slight advantage in their performance ratings, which is why more people are locking in duelists than usual, even though it already seems like everybody is in the first place. But also, some Vanguards and Strategists, some are facing a slight disadvantage, but most of them are remaining balanced. So what that tells us is they're probably going to be adjusting some of these heroes that they could tweak that baseline for to make it easier to, or harder, I guess, in some cases, to achieve that performance rating, and then thus give you a certain amount of points to climb or fall in rank. So why does this matter, Cozy? Great question. And why am I talking in the third person? Probably even better question. I think it should feel good to play most heroes, and if you perform really well on that hero, like if you're a Luna Snow and you're getting a ton of eliminations or a bunch of healing, you're at 50,000 healing, that should matter a lot, obviously. And right now, I think that's just undertuned, and everybody should feel confident that if they play their role at the best level possible, they're going to get rewarded for the SR or PR for it, okay? But even more importantly, we have buffs and nerfs announced now, and this one is crazy. They want to increase really the level of play and threat level for a good amount of the strategists in the game. Now, if they give this to Jeff, it's going to be scary. Damage improvements are on their way, and strategists are going to be getting buffed in this next patch, which I think is going to hit early next week. They don't say who. We don't know who. My guess would be probably most outside of Adam, Mantis, and Jeff, but those could also get buffed. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they give Mantis her health back. I hope. They don't mention it, but hey, we can dream. So that's going to be the opening conversation. They talk about how this should open more team compositions up, and I agree. I think it's not going to be a massive boost, but I think even just a little bit of a shakeup can really change up a hero. We've seen that with some duelists that just get slight damage modifications. All of a sudden, they go from unusable to S tier. I mean, Human Torch, but that's another subject. Now, lastly, guys, I thought this was pretty damn cool. I think this is the first time we saw an MCU actor promote something in Rivals, and I mean, we heard Sebastian Stan say again in Arm and Danger. So what else could you want? So we're getting a brand new Thunderbolts inspired skin to go alongside the movie release, which if you like the MCU, I heard it was a banger. I'm about to go see it here pretty soon myself. But yeah, it's pretty sick too.
Again. again.
All right, guys, next up we have buffs and nerfs, and they just like the dev visions give us a little bit of a tease on what's to come in the patch, and there's some actually pretty good changes in here in my opinion. First of all, guys, we have Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. He went from S tier level of Vanguard play down to, in my most recent tier list, B tier for a couple of reasons, but mainly that damage fall off was massive. Now, they're doubling down. They're not going to be giving him more damage right away. That is not the answer that they're going to be using to solve him and his viability. However, they're making his ultimate cost less, in turn charge a lot faster. And I think this is actually pretty interesting to start things off. So he's going to still kind of do what he's doing in matches. He's much more of a defensive wall unit than he is an offensive powerhouse. However, you can now be this kind of defensive wall that can gain a very powerful and point-winning, match-winning ultimate that much quicker. We don't know how much, but typically they like to increase these a good amount. We've seen in the past up to like 30% faster. Don't think it's going to be that much faster for him. But either way, Agamotto, one of the best in the game. And I think this is a cool change to the way that you're going to be playing him as that anchor tank. He's got the portals. The ultimate's already really good. And his damage is respectable and his survivability is high. So this is going to marry all that together to what could be a much better feeling Doctor Strange for the remainder of Season 2. Now, sticking in the Vanguard field, we have Groot, who is considered at the end of Season 1.5 and the beginning of Season 2 the best tank right now in Marvel Rivals. And well, guys, he is going to be getting a slight survivability nerf alongside one other Vanguard. Now, I think people were pretty shocked that Groot didn't have any type of nerf to begin the season, and so this feels about right. I don't know if I thought it was going to go to his survivability more than maybe some of his, I think this might adjust his wall health potentially, or they just go straight for the HP, right? I don't think this is going to be easy to read into, but if you just take 50 HP off the top, Groot is still going to do what he does well. He has great survivability in the first place. So I'm going to be curious what they do with him. They do mention, by the way, in all of these buffs and nerfs that 2.5, when Ultron comes into the game, that's when we're going to see a good amount more of more meta-shaking buffs and nerfs to come to the game. But they are addressing these very quickly. But on top of Groot, guys, we have Captain America as well getting a survival nerf. Okay, so this guy's already the king of survivability. He was beforehand. I've said it often. I thought in Season 1.5 he was still a very good hero, and he couldn't get much buffs or he was going to be too good. Well, he got a 5% damage buff. He got more health, and he got slightly less shield health on his Living Legend. I don't think they touched Living Legend. I think anytime you impact that ability, it hurts the kid a ton. I think he's probably going to lose just a touch of extra health. I don't know if it's going to be 50 or 25, but that feels like probably what they end up doing. Maybe they tweak his ultimate healing a little bit less. We're not sure, but that to me would be my educated guess on what they're going to do to Steve Rogers. I think both of these are going to still be very good heroes. I think Captain America and the damage buff and his survivability is already really good, and Groot is insane. So these are going to stay very meta options in my opinion. All right, guys, next up we have the duelist. Just a couple changes here, but should be impactful. Winter Soldier, once the best S-tier duelist within the game. He got hit pretty hard, man, with those nerfs that they received to his Kraken impact and his overall damage and losing infinite ammo. It took him from one of the best to actually, from the numbers that we can see, a pretty bad win rate. Well, they're going to be giving his Tainted Voltage a little bit of a buff, which is a nice ability, and even some more potential damage, maybe a shorter cooldown. We're going to have to see what they do there. But anything is welcome at this point, I think, for Bucky mains. And then the team up is going to get slightly buffed. Now, you might be asking, what team up, Cozy? Great question, too. It's pretty bad. I have not seen it much at all. I've played, a lot of Season 2, and I've seen this once, I think. And it was in a practice range. Or it could have just been on the dev video. I've never seen this. It's just not used that much. So I think they're going to give it a bit more, whether it be damage or a lower cooldown. We're going to have to see. But Captain America is picked plenty. Now, hopefully, Bucky Barnes will be picked more, and this team up is going to be a bit more impactful. We've got Spider-Man, guys, everybody's favorite hero. It's not like this guy's banned in just about every rank, not only for your own teammates not to pick him, but you guys are tired of getting hit with the 1-2 wombo combo. His amazing combo, his uppercut, the damage range of that is going to be slightly decreased. So whether it be a damage fall off or just the range of what it can do for its damage. I'll tell you what, guys, his fists are like this big in game, but the hitbox is like size of the screen. They're going to tame that down to give everybody little bit of a better chance to survive. And outside of that, guys, that's pretty much it, man. We've got some new skins for Loki and Hela. We got the big head mode, which is something, let me tell you. But anyway, guys, let me know if you enjoy these kind of quick news videos. If you did, be sure to subscribe down below. And as always, guys, till the next one, happy rivaling.